Okay, I go on. Okay, so I'm Guillermo Vega from Universidad of Valladolid. Yeah, I'm going to present this work in this intellectual output about link open data in modeling and simulation platforms. So just for the people that don't know what is link open data about, so this is basically a set of best practices for publishing data on the web. So it takes work and effort to publish link open data, but you have some benefits that enables you to make data more shareable, encourages data reuse, and also data integration. Everything is made by using open standards like RTF, OWL, and Sparkle that are standardized by the W3C consortium. So the main bricks of link open data are the following. We have ontologies that are essentially data models for defining the terms of a specific domain, like could be the forestry domain. Then you have, of course, data that needs to be annotated with the terms defining the ontologies, and then can be interlinked to other pieces of data that can be published by other people in other data sets. Then you need identifiers. These are these IRIs, IRIs, that are universal identifiers to avoid ambiguities. And in a way, they are similar to URLs. So basically, it's identifiers, data, and models, the ontologies. And finally, we have triple stores that are specialized database management systems that support this Sparkle query language. So these are the main bricks. So basically, it is an infrastructure for publishing data. So, okay, so this is for giving some preliminary context of what is link open data. Moving on to this intellectual output number 4. What we have done is the following. The main effort has been in the publication of forestry link open data, basically coming from two sources. The cross-forest dataset, that is a large dataset, including data from land cover maps and forest inventories from Spain and Portugal, but also the rainforest dataset that I will talk a bit later. It's a latitudinal gradient from UK, from Scotland to South Portugal. So this is one thing that providing the data in this format in link open data. And then the adaptation of a Forest Explorer tool for visualizing this data. It has already demonstrated Forest Explorer, so that's great. So I'm not going to go deeper in this. And in addition, we have also as a goal the adaptation of this Simulación simulator to use, in this case, the Spanish forestry inventory. And I thought we'll talk later about the Simulación if I've read correctly the agenda. And finally, all these data and tools can be used in educational scenarios. So, about this cross-forest data set, essentially it is a large data set combining data from land cover maps and forest inventories from Spain and Portugal. This comes from a previous European project named Cross-Forest. And as a summary, well, we have converted more than 90,000 plots, more than 1 million trees, almost 1 million of patches from the different land cover maps. And in this project, we have worked in a validation of all this data. So that was part of the effort. And as a result, we have some information about the ontologies that we have produced that are available at those URLs. We have our database management system, this Sparkle endpoint that we can use for querying that URL, and also we have the Forest Explorer tool. In the case of the Rainforest dataset, the data was available, but we have to make the conversion to link open data. Essentially, this comes from a previous project. There are 38 sites called Arboreta, and they, I mean, this is a gradient from Scotland to South Portugal, and they, I mean, this data set contains information about more than 2,000 trees, 32 species, and in 150 sites. So, first thing for the conversion of this dataset was the definition of the ontologies and defining the terms and so on. And we were able to reuse many things from the Cross Forest project, but we have to define new concepts for the Rainforest dataset. And in this case, we were defining this provenance, arboretum, survival rate, slope, countries, things like that. And also it was interesting to define new taxa terms like hybrid, variant, and subspecies that were something that we had to work a bit. We reused especially the species ontology from the Cross Forest project and other ontologies for measures and so on, and also developed new measures terms like centimeters per year and things like that. Just to give you a glimpse of what it is about. Yeah, so we were to define these concepts like hybrid species and variety. So, yeah, technical but important for the for foresters. And we were, after defining the classes, then we were exploiting this for instance, for defining hybrids like Eucalyptus gundal, that we can specify that it is, I mean, the parents are Eucalyptus gundi and Eucalyptus darling Brianna. So we made this with the different provenances in the project to define all the subspecies, hybrids, varieties, and so on. Yeah, this is basically the main model for the for linking the sites to provenance data and to trees. Yeah, so we have these classes. The site has a provenance with measures like the survival rate, number of trees, and then we have the different provenances. So this is, yeah, one of the models that were the basis of the virtual forest ontology. With that, we were able to convert the data, and this is just a specific case of one of the 38 sites of the Rainforest dataset, the one in Mull in Scotland. So yeah, so there is different information like it is in Scotland, that is the slope of this arboretum, things like the climate data and so on. Yeah, this is more detail about the climatic data. We try to be very specific and to avoid ambiguity. So in this case, I mean, we're not just saying that the value was 0.029, but also specifying the unit, and also specifying which is the interval time for getting this value. So yeah, this is one example for this site, and also there were we converted a lot of information about the different provenances. In this case, this is well, it is a graph indeed. It is data about the Eucalyptus gundal provenance. So yeah, it is. I mean, it is technical, but yeah, it is like this. So yeah, we made this the conversion of the whole dataset of this reinforced dataset. And about the infrastructure, so we prepare a Virtuoso triple store, and in this Virtuoso we uploaded all the data. This includes the ontologies, but also the reinforced dataset. We're of course using another triple store for the cross-forest dataset. So once we have this deployment, essentially you can do different things. You have the knowledge about the Sparkle. You can, well, this is a formal query language, so you can basically query the system and then obtain results. I'm going to give a short demo of this. But this is this is only a good solution if you know the ontology, the terms, and also the language. This Sparkle. In addition to that, we have prepared a REST API using a system that we have proposed that is called Crabs. And using this API, it is easier to get the information about these reinforced or cross-forest datasets. And indeed, we have also prepared an R script, different R scripts for getting the information. In a way, this is good for getting the information that you need and without having to craft these Sparkle queries. So yeah, that's the infrastructure, and then of course you can have tools, visualization tools like Forest Explorer that I will, you have seen already with Felipe. Okay, so this is just one example. So imagine that you have this information need that I can you can read, and indeed it is in this reinforced data set there are different algorithms, and we want to know which ones have less than 12 degrees of mean annual temperature. So this is the query for the Sparkle query for I mean that maps to this information need. So I'm not going to go into details. If I run this query, I get essentially this result. So this result, there are three arboreta that have this average temperature below 12 degrees. Basically, they are the ones in Scotland. Okay, this is one example, not well, just a simple example in a way. We can, of course, formulate more complex information needs, like this one. Yeah. So yeah, this is very specific. That it gets into the details of the range cross gradient. So it's about the survival rate for provenance, Castanea sativa, Mediterranee, and France. So we want to know which arboreta for this specific provenance has a survival rate of more than 95%. So yeah, the query, Sparkle queries, and it's in the slide. I'm not going to comment it, but yeah, it is. I mean, if you know the terms and if you know the query language of the Sparkle, you can write it, and then you get this result. In this case, like 15 sites, and they are sorted by the survival rate, and there are different ones. Like the one in Moral de Ornez in Segovia with a survival rate of 100%. So yeah, powerful tool, but not very user-friendly in a way. But it is, of course, an option. Okay. Resources. We have tried in the project to publish everything in a GitHub repository. So it is the one in this URL. So in this repository, we have ontologies, the ontologies that I have described a small bit. The RDF data, basically the conversion to this format. There are also scripts and and auxiliary programs, particularly this R script for accessing in an easier way to this reinforced data. We have Sparkle endpoint, this database management system for querying, and we have a REST API that it can be used for accessing, getting this information in an easier way. Okay, about the Forest Explorer, so we have, along the project, we have made a refactoring of this tool to simplify the consumption of linked open data. So now we can browse data also from Portugal. You have this URL. Felipe has already tested, made a demo for you. There are papers like this one. And yeah, I have a couple of slides. So basically, you can see here. I mean, we can put different filters of species. In this case, Pinus sylvestris and Pinus pinaster, brown and indigo colors. So you can see in this case, in the left case, in the province of Soria, that is, there are Pinus pinaster and Pinus sylvestris, basically it is mixed. And if we could go to the right side and we put the land cover map, then it is maybe more interesting. You can see more things. You can see agriculture areas in orange. You can see of course forest in green, and but also you can see in indigo and brown colors the patches, the forest patches that correspond to this the two species that we are filtering. And yeah, you can see the focus in one of the patches in Soria. So yeah, with Pinus sylvestris 30% and Pinus pinaster 10 to 20%. If we zoom in, we get to the specific plots, and you can see. I mean, I think it is nice this left snapshot, because you can see pure plots. In the case of Pinus sylvestris in indigo, the ones in brown are correspond to Pinus pinaster, but you can also see hybrid plots, and this is good. I mean, this is based in one case, in one forest case, that it was difficult to make this kind of analysis, and with this tool, in a way, it was very easy to choose plots specific, I mean, pure plots or hybrid plots. And yeah, in the right snapshot, you can see one hybrid plot, and you see there, specific trees with the measures. I mean, the measures are for these specific trees that comes from the Spanish forest inventory. Okay, so that is one of the things that is. I mean, this forest explorer in this it is using our link open data and is using Sparkle behind the scenes. So I mean, we can build tools that are based on link open data, and in a way they can be useful for foresters. And this is one of the things that we pursue. Okay, that was about the tools, Forest Explorer. And finally, we have this. So this is part also of this intellectual output. To have an extractor of forestry data for this simulator, Sim4. So it is ready. We have this a REST API for accessing this data, and it is available. And we are still, making well in the next version of Semaphore. We would like to, make it available in production. So yeah, I think that was all. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's all from my side.